a place called Camp Coca-Cola. It's now called C5 Youth Foundation. So I appreciate Coca-Cola, not only because I live in Atlanta, but because it does help to pay my bills. So this piece is in honor of Coca-Cola, kind of, sort of, you know. When I started writing this piece, I thought it might be a little sacrilegious. But then I heard God whisper, Mashana, sometimes you gotta sack religion. You see, my mom used to tell us that a man would put his thing in a Coke bottle if he thought that it would fit. Which meant that with most men, a hole was just a hole and a chick was just a chick. And believe it or not, that's the foolishness that I grew up with. How else could I explain how my mom's tears became my life's fears on that night that my sister disappeared? We searched everywhere, looked high and looked low, racked our brains and interrogated her friends trying to figure out where she'd go. And after a night of heart-wrenching turmoil and total despair, my sister returned home the next morning and the dark cloud cleared. I was speechless. What was it that had lured her away? Had she been trapped and held captive with no way of escape? Sometimes I think that would have been an easier truth to take, but the reality is that she had spent the night with her boyfriend. What a mistake. Now, I know some people are shrugging their shoulders. I mean, that's just what teens do, but in our house, it was a no-no. I mean, a real taboo, because my mama used to tell us, a man will put his thing in a Coke bottle if he thought that it would fit. Which meant that with most men, they are who you are and you get what you get. It sounds kind of silly, but in my house, it was the law. Adam and Eve had the fruit, but in my house, sex caused the fall. Subconsciously, I've spent my entire life grasping for my own truth to get. And then I heard God whisper even louder, Mashana, go back to the script. He said what you accepted as truth so many years ago, I'm here to tell you that just ain't so. There's a purpose for which man and woman were created. It's just that sin has led many astray and lies have evaded and persuaded and perverted what true intimacy is about. It's not just so that a man can, well, y'all can figure it out. No, the union is much more glorious than that, for it's in the joining of male and female that my image is at. I took dust and created an image that resembled my own. Although I'm the word manifested, he was made of flesh and bone. I know I'm God, but admitted Adam was great. And what better way to honor perfection than to make him a mate? Adam was a faithful servant. He worked hard and took care of the land. Hardworking, caring, and faithful. Now that's my idea of a man. And since he was doing such a good job, I didn't think it right that he should be alone, so I extended my plan of creation and gave him a helpmate of his own. One of equal grandeur, but with her own way and frame. And since she was to be the mother of all living, Eve was her name. Eve resembled Adam. They were literally cut from the same cloth. She was hardworking, faithful, and even though she was deceived, it was wisdom that she sought. Adam and Eve fit together like puzzle pieces and completed my plan perfectly. When I delivered Eve to Adam, I set the tone for how all relationships should go. Being united as one flesh is truly an act of worship and not just a freak show or a peep show or simply to show someone you care. Because every time you join together, know that in that beauty, I am there. Remember that Adam and Eve stood naked before me and they felt no shame, but then the serpent entered the equation and things began to change. You see, he's been adding himself to relationships, which means subtracting me. So instead of multiplying a godly race, he's brought division in its place. Now, all that could equal a problem, but see, I've given you the answer key to pass this test. Just study to show thyself approved, and I'll take care of the rest. Now, this is just my story. I don't know what your mama might have told you, but feel free to heed God's whisper to me to know exactly what you should do. So, if you're feeling like a Coke bottle, or if Coke bottles are all you seem to attract, go back to the script and let God's word deliver you from that. Amen.